Secondary deals are getting a lot more attention, it feels like. Um, how do you see this market evolving and what its potential is then if ultimately down the chain, the end game is public markets most of the time. But if that's not a route, then what happens?
Yeah, we should start the answer to this question by saying that it used to be true that the end game is the public markets, but it's not true anymore. So just to give you some statistics, which for me are mind-blowing. So in the year 2000, there were 370 exits in the tech sphere. And 62% of those exits were M&A, and 38% of those exits were IPO. In the year 2024, the overall amount of exits went up significantly to I think 1,200. However, the amount of IPOs is down to 3% of total. Just 3, Mark.
It's remarkable.
In the 80s, the median age of a company that was doing its initial public offering was 6 years. Today, it's 11, 12. Yeah. And we've talked at the very beginning about sort of the overall low turnover in the tech market of being, 5 to 7% maybe. And my conclusion from all of this is that it's much more likely that your company will be bought and sold than you going public. And that's okay. But also, the market has to develop other ways, other solutions of liquidity. And when we talk about secondaries, we need to make a very clear distinction in the very beginning by saying that there are direct secondaries when you buy stakes in companies and end up on the cap tables of companies, providing liquidity to the shareholders of these companies and helping to sort of clean up and consolidate the cap tables of these companies. And that's one instrument, and that's the instrument that we do at Flashpoint. And then there is a completely different brand of secondaries, which is what people usually mean actually by secondaries, which is buying into funds. So basically buying out LPs. And that's also a big market. It's also an interesting market. Obviously, in that market, you're still a step removed from the actual liquidity. This is why we don't do it, because we believe that you need to be as close to the source as possible. And it's more interesting to be close to the source. And for our skill set, it's more relevant to a degree to be close to the source, because our original DNA is being investment bankers and private equity professionals. So we know how to deal with companies. But both markets are very interesting. I think that both of these instruments are going through huge growth. So back when we started 5 years ago, there were, a handful of players globally doing direct secondary, right? Now, there are direct secondary funds launched every other week.